structures, belief system, belief structures, lifestyle systems, lifestyle structures that are not godly. There are places in this Lagos that getting teenage pregnancy is still in vogue because there is a structure that this demonic control system has built. I need to be very observant so that you don't just enter a place and the trend and the behavior of that place carries you away. A lot of trends some of the trends can be demonically inspired. The Bible talks of the power of the spirit of the air who is working in the children of disobedience. So second level is a place of demonic control of the mind, of directions, trying to regulate godly influence and impact. Number 2, it's a place of barrier to open third heavens. Remember, last week we looked at all the terrible things that happen to a man when the heavens are closed. But when we read Daniel chapter 10, which we are going to read, the third heaven of Daniel was open, but the second levels was where he started having problems. Let's turn our Bibles to Daniel chapter 10. We'll read from verse 1 to 13. Daniel chapter 10. From verse 1 to 13. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a message was revealed to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. And the message was true, but the appointed time was long, and he understood the message and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant food, no meat or wine came into my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all, till the whole 3 weeks were fulfilled. So I had a kind of 3 weeks of fasting. Now, on the 24th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river, that is Tigris, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose waist was girded with gold of Uphaz. His body was like pearl, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like torches of fire, his arms and feet like burnished bronze in color, and the sound of his words were like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, so was having an open eye vision. For the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great terror fell upon them, so they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone when I saw this great vision, but had no strength, and no strength remained in me, for my vigor was turned to frailty in me, and I retained no strength. Yet I heard the sound of his words, and while I heard the sound of his words, I was in a deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground. Suddenly, a hand touched me, which made me tremble on my knees and the palms of my hand. And he said to me, O Daniel, man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak to you, and stand upright, for I have now been sent to you. While he was speaking this word to me, I was trembling. Then he said to me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were hard and have come because of your words. What does this mean? Third heavens open. He spoke to God. God heard him, send him a response. That's classic open heavens. Do we agree? Let's read the next verse. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I have been left alone there with the kings of Persia. This is a loaded Bible verse. Let's try to unpack it in the little time that we have. Number one, there is a prince of the kingdom of Persia. Do we agree?